Welcome, Taurus, to your January 2021 monthly tarot reading. It's great to see the subscribers back again. Hope you've had a great time during the holidays. Now, by the way, there is an annual reading available for you. Just check out the playlist that's on my channel and you'll have a quick look at what's happening for the year ahead of you. But now we're going to go in depth for January. And we'll see what there is. By the way, if you want to get a clairvoyant reading with me, then just check out the information that's in the description box below, and you'll see how easy it is for that to happen from wherever you happen to live in the world. Now let's get some 5 cards, shall we? And then we'll go quite in depth. There's the Hermit. This is the 4 of Swords. This is Death. Great card, that one. This is the Knight of Discs. What a particularly lovely painting. This artist is quite good, I think. And finally, what do we have? Ooh, the Knight of Wands. Okay, why don't you come and sit down next to me while I do the reading for you. Now, Taurus, just to remind you, there is an annual reading published by me. You can either search for me on the tube or just look on the playlist on my channel and you'll see the 2021 annual reading. It goes for about 20 minutes. And the other thing is that next month's monthly reading will be published on the Wednesday the 13th of January. Now, these playing cards incidentally are for energy. I'm not using them. I'm going to look at the Hermit first because this is something which is such a interesting. The Hermit's always depicted in a number of different ways, I find. I don't mind this one here. I get the feeling of innocence and experience with you. What lies beneath the corporeal robes of the Hermit? What's underneath his earthly robes? Is it a man, a beast, an angel, some sort of an animal? All of the above, perhaps. Now, like the sun, the enlightened soul shines outward, banishing the darkness as wisdom banishes ignorance. His robes are flesh pulled tightly about him, but it still can't contain it all. Is there anything more beautiful and luminous than a person living 100% of who they are? Babies are all born perfect and divine, a pure vision of innocence. As they age and learn the ways of the world of contrast and of duality, it becomes their responsibility to grow, to struggle, and to overcome, to forge the enlightened soul. In the end, the Hermit is war-torn and scarred inside and out. But he has persevered, and he has carried forth the energy to a new generation so it can live on and chase their holy grails. The Hermit is a piece of the sun. There's an enormous amount of Virgo around this card, so practicality is what I see, and organizational ability here for you during this period, and also it's good for you because it's your sister Earth sign. And I see Mercury ruling Virgo, and Mercury exalted. To me, this prophet here is the prophet of the eternal, the magus of the voice of power. And I think what we will see here is the situation where you start to find your own light going inward, completion of some things, harvesting the rewards of prior investment, resting in on your own center, patience. I think you could also find that you are something of a mentor to other people during this time, and that people come to you asking for advice, and that the advice that you give them will be good. Now, this could be in a work environment, but I see it particularly also in a personal relationship environment where people come to you saying, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And the advice that you give them will be good, because it's almost as if you get some divine inspiration and are illuminated from within. A greater degree of wisdom around you at this time. getting away from a situation perhaps in order to get a better insight into it is what I say. Do you know what? I think there may well be a situation here where you become aware of something that you were previously unaware of. Now, this could be a secret that had been kept from you, or it could be the uncovering of knowledge that suddenly gets things to come together so that you get a light bulb moment and things start to make sense. And I think after the busy holiday period, it may be that you do spend some alone time, soul searching and recalibrating yourself. There is certainly, I think, the need for you to get in touch with your inner wisdom. And this is a time when you must accept your aloneness. Don't concern yourself with people who don't understand you, who would rather see you be part of the herd. And if you should meet a wise leader or teacher, then join her or join him. Do you have any unresolved situations or relationships in your life? Make a list of all the situations. Look, this is the best time. This is the new year. Make a list of all the situations which you now wish to resolve or in some way bring to a completion. And let's face it, whoever embarks upon the search for the internal light must not be encumbered by unresolved conflicts. Accounts need to be settled. I don't think you're going to be compromising your values during this period. And as far as relationships are concerned, I think you want your relationships to be significant, or you don't want them at all. There's the need to complete things from the past before moving on. I think you might find you're quite gifted at things involving working with your hands and very good organizer, as I said earlier. This is that Virgo quality that's around here. And it's a time to get into looking after the body and sprucing up your surroundings. And you really do also get this feeling of a motivator for somebody else. Say this to yourself: I enjoy the feeling of completion and resolution. I will not compromise that which is important to me. I enjoy my aloneness because I can stop being alone whenever I wish. Now, this next card, it doesn't surprise me that it's come up here for you and in the center of the energy. Let's have a look at it. Hi, baby. Who are you? Death. Well, death. Look at all the silken hair that's there and these flowers that are about and the skinny, sunken, milkless breasts that are there. What would you die for? The death card is, in a sense, Tarot's reminder that in one respect, it's a reminder that you will die. And do you know that there was a German philosopher called Martin Heidegger who said that authentic life is lived before the horizon of death. Now, what he meant by that was that if you knew that you were going to die at 2 p.m. in the afternoon on the 14th of next month, I guarantee the type of life that you live between now and the 14th of next month at 2 p.m. would be completely different to the type of life which you have led before. You would enjoy every moment. You would welcome every breath. You would rejoice in every squeal and laugh from a child. You would love every meal and love every person, and you would forget, let alone forgive, every wrong that had ever been done to you in your life up to this date. I think what this is saying is it's a reminder this month to live life because you are mortal, and to live a good life and live it to the fullest because one day you too will die. Now, I'm assuming that in the Greek mythology there were the Fates, 3 old women. Each person had a silken thread, and I'm taking that from the hair on this woman, who I'll call Morta. Morta the crone was one of the 3 Fates. And the silken thread went through every single person from the time they died. It determined how they lived, and I think Morta was the one who cut the thread at the end, and that's when the person died. And so I think this is saying, live life, because you will die. This card for me shows Morta the crone, the cutter of the thread of life, which gives your soul liberation. The threads of life are her radiating hair. The flower is a traditional symbol in Christian religious art, which was popular in the Renaissance up to about the period of 1800, which was reminding people that they were going to die. And the reason that the flowers were there, because flowers bloom and then they die. So I think that's why they're there. Because flowers only bloom for a short time, don't they, before their petals fall back down into the earth. I think what there is here is, I'm looking at number 13 as well. And I'm just remembering that the 13th letter of the biblical Hebrew alphabet is the letter Mem, and that means water. What is the abyss but water with no end and no light? To go into death is to go into this dark place, be it in the water of oblivion or the water of your own subconscious. As you descend, you shed your sins, your guilt, the pieces of clothing that make up your life until you reach the bottom. And there, naked, you can see yourself for who you really are. Now, Morta the crone here, for me, is Mars ruling Scorpio with Pluto exalted. But Mars here, Mars is that fiery, aggressive planet, and the Mars energy here is in its lowest, its basest, its most aggressive and destructive form. And it is this massively high destructive energy form which is necessary to provide the impulse for things to move. Now, Morta the crone could to me also be called the child of the great transformers, the lady of the gate of death. I think what we see here is the transformation of you during this period. Some endings, letting go of emotional attachments, the end of an era or a cycle perhaps. Because as a rule, the death card does not mean a physical death, even though I was talking about the fates in that respect. But it generally points to a radical external transformation. Old relationships are demanding to be disintegrated, and this process may be bound together with painful experiences. However, because this card has turned up here, it says that you are ready. The act of letting go, difficult as it may be, is going to liberate you. Death really shows two faces, one destroying and tearing down, but the other freeing you from old bonds which have become confining, preventing life. And it's which of these aspects predominates really depends on your attitude. Any desire to hold on to or cling to old bonds will cause their death to appear much more agonizing. Let yourself fall when you have given up those things that are supporting you, given up the earth under your feet. Then you can listen to the guide in your hearts. Then all is one. There is no more fear. There is no more danger when you let go. I think something in your life is dying, dissolving, or disintegrating, whether it be a structure you have created, a pattern, a habit, or a way of thinking about yourself and the world, and this is necessary for new beginnings. Let's have a look at her again. She's telling you that this is necessary for you to transform, for new beginnings and transformation. It's a period of great transformation and facing your darkest fears, but remember that the darkest hour is just before the dawn. And in order to grow and abandon the old, death is your protection against stagnation. And you are being forced to leave behind what you have outgrown. You are now ready to make the necessary changes in your life and accept any pain that comes with the loss of the old. What outdated relationships or situations are you clinging to? Say this thing to yourself. I let go of people and situations with ease and dignity. Every ending heralds the new beginning. Detachment releases me. I say yes to death now, because I am also saying yes to myself. Now I want to have a look at this Four of Swords. Now I think this is quite straightforward for you, because this is a time of rest and recuperation for you, this Four of Swords, and this is a very restful sort of environment, isn't it? It is Jupiter ruling the third decan of Libra, that 14th to the 22nd of October. Well, Libra tries to find balance in your life, and the need for balance can induce unrest. Libra can also induce indecisiveness at times, you know. But Jupiter is giving a period of rest from what has probably seemed to you to be something of a difficult situation, as well as opening your higher mind's flexibility. And then you'll find that you then get the insight into how to resolve a particular problem. Jupiter allows you to move on because your mind is negotiating some temporary resolution to things at the moment. You may be recuperating. There's calm, clarity, spiritual cleansing, integration. The quiet consideration is around here. But agreements and taking a break. You know, ultimately, I think it's that you just need some time to you need to take out some time, I think, from a stressful situation. You've got to recharge your batteries. A bit of a mental health break is needed. Now, conflicts don't necessarily go away, but time out from them, I think, is needed at the moment. And make the most of this mental health break. Don't put off anything that needs to be done. Because unavoidable things can grow to become bigger and more challenging. But trust your intuition to know when is enough rest for you. And make the most of this break to be at your strongest when you need to face the issues that are at hand. You have enough inner clarity to successfully carry out your plans. Be sure at all times that you feel good about what is happening. What supports or what hinders your clarity? Check your surroundings and rearrange them to support calm and centeredness, and say to yourself, I am at peace within myself. Now I'm going to go next to where there is a lot of Taurus energy, and it is here, and it's this Knight of Discs. I'm getting a lot of Taurus around it. I'll tell you what I'm also getting around, and I think this might be important to you, Aries. This is the Prince of the Chariot of the Earth. Now, even though you are getting some peace in mind here, you will, I think, necessarily, your mind will be at peace, but I think that you, notwithstanding, will be quite energetic and be a capable manager and very practical and materially centered. You'll be slow to anger, but really look out if you happen to get your buttons pushed. I think you'll be competent, reliable, materialistic, and I think quite, maybe a bit stubborn, I have to say, during this period, but very focused. I think that's here. I get design around here. Now, this design can be things like architecture, but it can also relate to doing things around the home or around the garden or to do with fashion or beauty and things like that. And great energy with dealing with things that are material, that is, money, matters, projects. Could be some quite extensive physical activity as well. I think you'll be able to adapt to circumstances and turn them to your advantage. And in doing that, I think that you will use a slow, steady, well thought out plan You'll be competent and ingenious, thoughtful, cautious, trustworthy is what I'm getting here. I think it's important to say also that it's a period where you're going to take responsibility for your life. I think you're starting this new year very well. You're taking responsibility for your life, and you're beginning to become focused. You may be quite good at sport here, interesting in design, as I say, in building things, putting a lot of effort into practical things. Some people may think that because of this focus that you have, that you may appear to be insensitive and lacking in emotional warmth. But this is a time in your life, though, when you are going to be very goal-oriented and want to sort out the material side of your life. That is, things to do with health, career, all those things which are tangible, and deal with your standard of living. This is the time to take action, and if you do so, important experiences will result. Now, what activities do you enjoy? What activities would help you towards self-realization? Find a creative activity in which you find joy and fulfillment. And say this: I am finding the work that fulfills and satisfies me. And here's his cousin, the Knight of Discs. Hello. What is that? A rat? A bear? What do they call it? The Knight of Discs? It's the Knight of Wands. Of my 2 brain cells, one of them must have taken a holiday. Now, this is the Prince of the Chariot of Fire, and what I'm getting here is a lot of Leo and a lot of Cancer around it, actually, like that kind of July the 12th to August the 11th period. This is somebody. Now, this could be someone that's in your life here, right? I don't know what to make of this. Do you say that's a rat or a bear or a prairie dog? Who knows? This is really somebody, I think, who is swift and strong, impulsive, violent, just, I think, noble and generous with a sense of humor. It speaks to me of blossoming love in relationships and you coming out of the darkness and coming into light. With the heart of a lion, he stands for honesty and integrity and what he believes to be for the common good. There's a really strong sense of morality to this character. Now, I think this energy here can represent a turning point when things have been going badly for you. This is a turning point. So you have to use his energy and enthusiasm and drive to move on to better things, and now is the time to do it. You must wear the same confidence that he has, and this card is reminding you to re-engage in life and to tackle any challenges that come your way. Have a lust for life, which is not dissimilar to what our friend old Mortar was saying here. A lust for life, and I think you'll be courageous and loyal. You know, the reality is that here, with this energy in this position, you really do have all you need. Don't let yourself be contained, because this Knight of Wands is perfectly ready to engage fully in facing life's tests and challenges, but his greatest lesson is that his strong will can only help him towards his goal when it is in harmony with the will of the whole. What challenges are present now in your life? Spread your arms wide and breathe deeply into your heart and say to yourself, I love life and life loves me. What a very appropriate and positive spread for you at the beginning of the year, Taurus. Good job, well done. That's the way it is for you this month. Well, I loved spending that time with you then. What a great month it looks like it's going to be for you. And don't you deserve it? You certainly do. Of anybody, you deserve the good things that are coming into your life. Now remember this one thing always, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.